Hi, I'm Andrei from SimpleNet, and in today's video, I'll show you how to install and configure the FlyingPress plugin. This is a premium plugin. It starts at $49 per year, and it's one of the best caching and optimization plugins in the WordPress ecosystem. So let's dive in. After you buy the FlyingPress plugin, you can download it to your computer, then go to your WordPress dashboard to plugins, add new plugin, click upload plugin, choose file, select the zip file and click upload and install now. Before we activate the plugin, let's test how the website performs. I have this private window with my website. This is my demo website. I'm using the Ollie theme, and I have added some patterns here to populate the page. Right-click, inspect element, go to network, and let's do a refresh. A couple of refreshes, okay. You can see here the time to first byte, 106 milliseconds, 29 resources, 800 kilobytes total, 500 kilobytes transferred, and page is loaded in 664 milliseconds. Okay, now let's activate the plugin. We need to add the license key to activate it. Click Activate License. Okay. I'm gonna click Participate in Improving FlyingPress and save changes. Now, let's go to the dashboard. We can see here the number of cached pages. We can purge pages, preload cache. Let's go to cache. The automatically preload cache is enabled by default. Smart link preloading is enabled. In the CSS section, the Minify CSS is enabled. We can also enable remove unused CSS, keep the load unused CSS on asynchronously. We're going to leave this empty. Let's click Save Changes. In the JavaScript, Minify is enabled by default. I will also enable Defer JavaScript and save. Optimize Google Fonts and display fallback fonts are both enabled. You can preload fonts here. We're not going to do this right now. I'll do it later. Let's go to images. Lazy load images is enabled by default. Exclude above fold images 2. Add responsive images, add missing width and height. Host gravatar images locally. Let's enable this. Preload critical images. Save changes. Let's lazy load iframe and use placeholder images for YouTube videos. The CDN is extra, so we're not going to enable it now. You can remove some of the bloat. Database, automatic cleaning, weekly, save, and advanced. We have some advanced settings to exclude pages from caching, ignore query parameters, bypass cookies. Host third-party CSS and JS locally is enabled by default, and lazy render elements is enabled by default. Okay, let's now visit our website. Let's refresh. Okay, let's refresh a couple of times. We can see here the time to first byte has dropped to 59 milliseconds from 100. Nothing has changed here. What we can do is we need to take the font, copy this URL, and set it to preload. Save. Okay. Now you can see pages are being cached. Let's go back. Let's refresh. Okay, now you see the font is no longer loaded the last, but is loaded here after these two images. And you can see it's loaded from memory because we have preloaded it. Now, these two images, we don't need to have them load here. In the, let's see, in the above the fold section, we don't have any images. So here at images, there's a setting, a default setting to exclude two images from lazy loading. That's why those two images were there. But because we don't have any images above the fold, we can set this to 0 and click Save Changes. Now let's test. Let's go to Network. And let's do a refresh. And now you see the HTML document is the first, then it's the font. Those two images are no longer being loaded with high priority. But for your website, if you have images above the fold, you must set the number of images that you want to exclude from lazy loading. Okay, so this is pretty much how you install and configure the FlyingPress plugin. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments.